Okay, great. All right, you guys, I am so excited to be here tonight amidst all of the internet trials that I had today. Oh my goodness, my internet was down for 2 hours, and it just took forever to get going. And so I'm really excited. I'm so committed to making sure that you guys see this webinar, because I know that if you guys even embrace just a few slides in this presentation, that it will change your whole business right now. And so I'm really excited to be talking about communication tonight. And, even though, I was having some internet problems, I have to say that I am so grateful for the technology that we have, that we're able to connect with so many people who, we don't have to be, in the same state or living in the same area, and we can still really, get excited and be on the same page. So I'm really excited about that. Let me see if I got that right. Okay. Woohoo. All right. So moving to the next slide. The reason why I decided to do this is because oftentimes in, the past 3.5 years I've been in Identics, oftentimes when I'm working with somebody new and I'm working with a new client, okay, sometimes they think that the reason why somebody doesn't sign up with them right away or immediately or on the spot is because of something that they're doing. Sometimes that's true. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it has, to do with them as well. And so I really want to touch on why we say things, right? Why did they say that to me? Why was that the response I got? Why did I say that to them? Was it something I said? And how can I be better with my communication with working with my people? And I love this picture of this guy. He's got his hand out and he's like, what? He's like, probably may not have gotten the exact response he was looking for. And a lot of it does have to do with the way that we're listening and our communication as a whole. So there's 3 main points I want to talk about on tonight's webinar. And there's 3 actual different ways of communication. So 3 main points. And the first one is that there's 3 different ways of communication. And the second one is overcoming objections, okay? And the third one is posturing yourself in your business and your life. Okay. And what I love most about the third one, posturing yourself in your business, I'm kind of going to be slipping it into pretty much the whole presentation. So listen carefully. But it's one of those things that it's so key. It's so key. So let's move forward. So let's first address the 3 types of communication. And this may or may not be new to you, but auditory. Okay, the way that we hear things. If the way that earlier on today's call, I was talking about personality types, and in personality types, I meant, red, blue, yellow, when we talk about being characterized into a different personality, which is something you can't ignore. Everyone does have a different personality, and a lot of us, we're kind of chameleons. We kind of express so many different languages, of the way that we really communicate and express communication. But there's a quick way to really be able to stay in tune with anybody that you're working with. And that is you can listen to some of the words they're saying, and you can find out if they are more visual, if they're more, they need to hear things more than that over and over again, or if they're kinesthetic, they like, touch, feeling, things like that, okay? And all of these are called submodalities in the psychology world. And they say that when you can align these in a conversation, when you start speaking somebody's language, the way that they like to be taught to, the way that they understand information, that when those are aligned, that it is as if you open the key to the vault, right? Because all of a sudden they slide back, they're in comfort mode, they feel like you get them, like you understand them, you're speaking to their soul, the way that they want to be talked to. And so this is one thing that I really started learning lately, and it's just really great. So when we talk about auditory communication, you'll be on the phone with somebody and they'll say, oh yeah, I hear you. Oh yeah, and so when somebody says, I hear you, or hey, listen up, or does that resonate with you? That rings true. Things like that. It means that the way that they want to be taught to and the way they understand the most is when they're hearing things, okay? So your communication with them should be something like, well, as you heard, or, I'm listening to you say that this is how you feel, right? Or how does that resonate, okay? I can hear what you're asking. Okay, so when they ask a question, you could come back, instead of being like, well, the client says this and the blah, 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 you could come back and say, I can hear what you're asking is that you're wondering about this piece of the cleanse or this piece of the business. You know, so that's what I love about that. And we're going to put these into some more examples in a minute. But visual communication, all right? I see. Oh, yeah. Oh, it looks like, oh, I can picture myself, or my line of sight would be only this, right? Or, oh, that's clear to me, right? I can see that. It's clear to me. So, you know, that's somebody who's going to want to look at things. You're going to have to write things down or have them write things down if you're not in front of them, you know, and that's what I love is people who are, you know, who are visual and they can hear things pretty quickly, just so you know, they're pretty fast-moving people. Okay, they're pretty quick. All right, they're pretty on the point. If they're like, yeah, I see that. Okay, you know, if somebody says I see that to you, the first thing is like they got it. You know, so you want to make sure that you give them things they can see when you're talking to them. Okay, so you want to say that back to them. Oh, I can see that you did see that, or hey, it looks like, or hey, can you picture this, or imagine if this is what your life looked like after you joined the Isagenix business. Right? Or it's clear to me that you're looking for, and this is what we have to offer, right? Okay, so that's what I love about visual communicators. I myself am very visual, so I'm a really fast learner. I hear things and I visualize things, okay? And I think everyone's a little bit of each. So just like you said, if you can really connect to somebody's submodality, you know, Tony Robbins teaches this. He says if you can connect to somebody's submodality, you've opened their vaults, okay? And so here's the kinesthetic. These are oftentimes people who are not as quick to make a decision, and they're a little bit more emotional because they like to feel things, right? They want to feel safe. They want to feel like it's okay. So to identify that, you'll hear things like, well, it feels like, you know, am I going to be cleansing the rest of my life? Right? I mean, I'm just saying, I'm putting things out there. These are some of the things that I hear on a regular basis. Gosh, that really touches me. I can't believe that Jill Birth lost 132 pounds, you know? Well, you know, it reaches, you know, it's like I want to reach out and really, you know, I felt like, it seems to me, okay? Those kind of communicators, you can say things. So when you feel that way, you know, or it's the best feeling when you can help other people and make money at the same time, right? How does that make you feel? Or you can physically touch their hand if you're in front of them. If you're not in front of them, then you're going to have to use a lot of feely words, okay? You know? But if you are in front of them, just like in this picture that the woman goes, oh, that's so great, right? She grabs her hand, she touches her. Kinesthetic people, you know, you want to feel it out, but they're most of the time they're okay with being touched, okay? You know, if they're saying, like, feel right, or this is that. So just reach your hand out and go, gosh, you know, I'm so excited that you're joining my business today. And, you know, that kind of a thing. So now that we addressed those, I want to move into sometimes what are we saying? And most of the time, I want to say this most of the time because I did it myself when I first got started. Most of the time, we talk too much. Okay? We think that we have to give them all the information right up front, and then we end up skipping or totally missing or even listening for what type they are, you know, to hear if they're auditory or visual or kinesthetic. We forget about that. Some of us do it naturally. We kind of plug in naturally, you know, but a lot of people don't. I mean, a lot of people, when they first get started in this business, they think that they just need to unload on everybody all the information that they have about Isagenix's products and the business, and why wouldn't they want to join, right? Well, when you have somebody who's so fresh, I really want you to not talk as much, okay? I need to start by asking questions. George and I, myself, and Tracy and Leanne and Alex as well, we put out tons of information on good questions to ask. So I'm not going to go over good questions to ask, okay? You know, how are you doing is one of them, but, you know, I mean, that's like a beginning phrase. Hey, how you doing? Good? Great. You know, so you want to ask a couple questions. You want to find out what's going on in their life, and then you really want to go into, hey, there's something I want to show you, you know? And when you embrace that little moment and realize that at that moment it can either make or break everything, because you really want to, well, I can't say that you could say that the wrong thing to the right person, all right? You really can't mess up. There's no messing up in this business, just learning, you know? But in order to really get the best out of your first conversation with somebody, you need to just listen, okay? Ask a couple questions and then listen, all right? And people are afraid to pause because, you know, that moment of silence can be kind of scary. But I really want you to make sure that you pause after you ask a question. Wait for the answer. If they say, hey, well, here's my next question, you go, great, I have some information for you on that. Would love to send it to your email, right? stop, wait, listen, find out what they're looking for. That's the best way to connect with somebody else. And then you get to hear it. So you're not like, megaphoning somebody about your Adrianne's business. So now that we know that, I want to go into some objections, because sometimes just up front, it's not so much that people have an objection right away. It's just the fact that they don't know what to ask. If you go, hey, do you have any questions? They go, no, I'm good. Sometimes it's not always because you were super thorough. It's because you were over thorough. You want them to ask some questions about your business. So let's move into objections. Is it really an objection? Sometimes when somebody says, hey, gosh, you know what? I don't know if I have enough information to get started right now, that kind of a thing, it's mostly a form of interest. They want to get their questions answered. When they're asking a question or rejecting something, it's not so much that they're rejecting you or your business or anything at that moment. And here's what I really want something to sink in real quick. I want everyone to raise their right hand and take a pledge, okay, right now, and say to yourself, whether they do or whether they don't doesn't matter to me. I treat everyone the same, right? You don't need to go into personal vendetta mode or, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just got rejected. They asked me a question and it had nothing to do with them saying I wanted to sign up right now. That's okay. Sometimes getting their questions answered, that's a form of interest. Them saying, hey, you know what, I don't have time for this, or blah, blah, blah. They want to know, how can you help them see how this fits into their life, right? And other times, I'm going to be honest with you, sometimes, it is an excuse to be like, hey, dude, I can't talk to you right now. I'm busy, blah, 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 blah. It really is an excuse, and they could seriously not be interested, and that's fine. All right? Because, here's a posture moment. You don't need everybody. There are thousands of people out there, hundreds of thousands of people out there. If your mom and your dad and your best friend all say no, there are still other people that you know and people you don't know yet that will be grateful that you called them. Okay, and here's the thing I want to put out there to you real quick. Somebody said this to me the other day. They said, when you're in this business and you don't feel like it's working for you right away, you need to ask yourself, are you following up with your leads? Are you going out them randomly? Are you grabbing emails and phone numbers and getting people excited and not doing your part? Are you following up with them? Are you calling them back? Or is that part scary to you? You're okay to go out there and get the lead, but you're not following up? Shame on you. Okay? Shame on you and your business. It would be so sad. You got them excited. You didn't go back there and finish the piece of the puzzle. You didn't get the full piece of the cake. You didn't get your cake, and you didn't get to eat it either because you didn't follow up. You need to follow up. I'd be surprised that, half of the world and half of the people in business, if they just did what they said they would do, they would all be millionaires. They would go out, they'd be making so much money because they just did what they said they were going to do, which is follow up. Okay, so we need to make sure that we follow up so that we can either get an objection we can answer, or what may or may not be an objection, just a form of a question, okay, or an excuse. Get the no. But either way, we've got to be following up so we can get these objections. That's why I love going through objections, is because it's not something you need to be afraid of once you go through it, So why do they say certain things? All right. Now, this is the part I want you to ask yourself too. What is the objection you receive the most? Maybe now is a good time in the presentation for you guys to pull out a pen and a piece of paper, okay? Literally go grab one. I'm going to give you a second. I'm just going to be sitting here talking for a minute, all right? Go grab a piece of paper and a pencil, and I want you to ask yourself, all right, what is the number one objection I get? What are people saying to me? What do they say to you? Okay, and I really want, I wish that I could see if you guys want to type in on the side, if you're live right now and you're listening to this, and I hope you are, then type into the side maybe an objection. Maybe Alex can tell me what it says. I can't see it, but, type in an objection you normally get or something so we can, discuss that or whatnot. But think about that for a second. What's the number one objection that you get the most, okay? And I want you to ask yourself, did I or do I still harbor any feelings or thoughts around that objection myself? Okay. Most people will say,
it's actually, I don't have the money. A couple of people have typed in that.
I don't have the money. Yeah. But we're going to go over this heavily in a minute. I don't have the money because, Heaven knows I got that a lot when I first got started. I very rarely, I mean, honestly, I very rarely get that now unless somebody seriously doesn't have the money and they weren't listening to what I said about how to go get it, you know. But I very rarely get that one. But I don't take any prisoners either. So if they like really don't have the money and they don't know how to find it, then it's okay with me if they wait to come into my business or if they don't. You know, I mean, I love everybody, want to give everybody a fighting chance, but that's why I hold kind of a strong line a little bit, because it doesn't bother me if they do or they don't anymore. I really want to say that. It doesn't bother me if they do or do not come into my business anymore. What I get excited about is the people who are on it, they're ready to go, and they're going to find a way to do it. Georgia Reeves, you guys, you know, we have it so easy these days in network marketing. Just I've heard so many stories from everybody, but, you know, George Reeves, he sold his microwave, his color TV, and borrowed money from his first prospect, who was his boss, to get started in his first network marketing company. Did he find a way? Yeah, he was like a starving immigrant from Venezuela, but he knew that there was an opportunity to do this, and he found a way to get the money. And it wasn't just, you know, $500 those days. It was like around $1,000, $1,200 to get started in the business. And now everyone's like, gosh, I don't even know if I can find $5. Oh, don't do it. Find a way to do it. Sell something. But, you know, so, you know, help them find the money. If they don't worry about it. We're going to go heavily into that in a second. But, you know, finding the money. How many of you guys have ever thought that maybe Isagenix products were expensive? You know, or how many of you guys may have thought, you know, when you first got started that there was no way you were going to make your money back because you tried network marketing before and it didn't work? You know, I mean, I really want to pull out all the stops and just get you through that yourself, because as soon as it's not an issue for you in any way and there's no welling up or any kind of feeling comes inside of you when you ask somebody for the money, that's the moment you won't have problems with it. Okay, so I know we spent a little bit of time on that, but I really want you to think about that. The reason sometimes why people say, gosh, I just don't have the money, is because you somewhere in yourself go, did I have the money? You know, I mean, it is kind of hard, or somewhere along the line. All right, so 3 common objections. Here we go. We're going to dive into it. Money, right? Time, knowledge. I love all of these. They're like my favorite things. I just remember having to deal with that a lot. Okay, so money, real quick. I don't have the money, it costs too much, I can't afford it, right? Okay, so if somebody's auditory, maybe some of the things they're going to say to you is, you know, I'm hearing you, but I just don't have the money, okay? You know, maybe that's something they come out with. Well, you want to come back and you want to say, hey, look, what I heard is that you're really excited about the business, and I also heard that if you can find the money to get started, that you can make your money back and better. Did I hear that right? You know, you want to wait and pause. Did I hear that right? Or, I mean, because were we in the same presentation? Or, you know, I mean, it's pretty straightforward, but you need to come back with that. What I heard is that you're so excited about the business. My really good friend, the other day, I'm not going to name his name, but he's just so awesome. And he and his wife came to a meeting and they were so excited. And he's like, let's do it, you know. And he didn't have the money right then. And I don't fret at all. I know he's going to find a way to get the money. And that was kind of the thing. I was like, well, what I heard is that you're really excited about the business. I know once he sees what we go into, you know, I hope he's on the webinar. I don't know if he is or not, but if you can find a way to get the money, then you'll do the work, right? It's like, Kelly, my girlfriend Kelly up in Seattle, who's an Isagenix, only been in 3.5 months, made $32,000. She helps people find the money. Okay, so that's what we're going to go into next. Here's the money for a visual person. What I can see is that if you had the money, you would join us, right? And if I can show you a way where you can get the money, you would join right now. I mean, that's the question. If I can show you a way, right, because they're visual, where you can get the money, would you join right now? Well, yeah, of course I would, right? If I knew a way, I would do it, right? So, you know, I mean, it's just, I love these, and I really do use them. You know, if you were to do a 3-way call with me, and I've done several 3-way calls with, I think, a few of you on this webinar, and I think you'll know that I do use this a lot. Okay. All right, so here's the kinesthetic. I feel that if you had the money, you would get started today. And if I can show you a way where you can get the money, would that make you feel better about your decision? Right? Because they're going to be a little bit more sensitive because they're very feely. They have to feel like they're okay and feel like it's safe. So I feel that if you had the money, you would get started today, right? And so if I can show you a way where you can get that money, would that make you feel better about your decision? Well, gosh, I guess so. I guess that would make you feel a little bit better about everything you're saying right now, right? So there's some great power words in here. We talked about communication magic. I really want you to listen to some of these words. And a lot of times you might be listening to somebody, and there are a couple of these at the same time. You just plug them all in there, whichever way you want. You just put them in there. I usually end up blending a lot of them. So here's where I need you to pull out your pen and paper again. Don't slide it away. This is very important. I was doing a call with Leanne Jackson the other day, one of our millionaires and the BDP leader, and she said, you have to put this on a webinar. The way that you just said this to me, it was like I was ready to sign up all over again. This is a money-making tool. So here's the money-making tool. You're going to say to them, right, this is what I mean at the end, show them the money. Okay, first things first, let's find you some money, right? So people have money, you guys, they really do. Whether they have a lot or a little is none of your concern, because your goal is to make them a lot of money. That's why you're asking them to partner with you in Isogenics. And can I just say for the record that it is very hard if you're only talking about the product, okay, to really build a great business. If somebody's sold on the product, they might call you back in a month and be like, you know what, I'm ready to cancel my auto ship. They didn't see the value of the bigger picture, okay? You've got to be selling both. And I don't even think we sell anything in here. I certainly don't feel like I sell, but you've got to be sharing both of those pieces of information. They are one. I can't stress this enough. The product and the business are one. When you share the product, you share the business. When you share the business, you share the product. They're one, okay? So first things first, let's find some money, right? How much are you currently spending on groceries each month? And, I put $500 next to there. I'm not sure. I know that, for myself, even when I just had a family of 4, I was spending a lot more than $500, which is a little scary. But I'm just saying, let them answer. How much are you currently spending on groceries each month? $500? Okay, great. Here's a great one. How much are you willing to take of that $500 to reroute on Isogenics food? So I know you need to feed your family. How much are you willing to take out of that $500 and put towards Isogenics this month? So I wrote down 100, but you guys, I've had people say to me, 200, 300. I'm like, you're covered. You're on it. It's already free. Your Isogenics products are free because you were going to spend that money at Costco anyways, right? And now you're going to purchase Isogenics. So that's one way. But if they're visual, even if you're over the phone, I have them pull out a piece of paper and I have them do this over the phone, okay? And the reason why this is so key is because if you're not in front of somebody and they're a visual person and you're just talking at them, what do they need? They need something visual. Have them write it down. You're in a business conversation. I'm trying to help you out. Can you write this down for a minute? Great. Oh, you can't right now? Okay, let's call back because I really need you to understand this. I'm trying to save you money. I'm trying to get you a refund on your products. So we've written out $500 for groceries, right? We're going to negate $100 from that. And now we're going to plug that into our Isogenics, all right? And we're going to talk about the Isogenics President's Pack. There's really only 2 packages that I talk about these days, and it's the President's Pack and the Total Health and Wellness, all right? And I flat out tell people, even if they don't, have a lot of money. I mean, I just signed up a girl the other day, and she said, I can only do the 9-day program. I said, great, but if you do the 9-day, I'm not going to let you order it unless you add on a couple extra products. Why? Because I would be selling them a 9-day program, but they'd be spending $170 for only 9 days worth of products, okay? You need to understand the value of what we have and just come straight out with it. As soon as you're comfortable with sharing all these numbers, you guys, you might want to go through this presentation a couple times. As soon as you're comfortable with saying, hey, look, I'm looking out for you, and my whole purpose here is not only to help you get, the best body you're looking for and to make extra cash, but I need to save you money. Let me show you how. So we talked about the Isogenics President's Pack, the biggest bang for your buck, right? Comes with everything we have. Subtract $100 from it. So now your products are going to cost you $459. Okay? Don't get bored right now. If you get bored with numbers, I want you to stand up and take a stretch and just listen, okay? But here we go. It's very important. And then I go, do you know anybody who'd want to cleanse with you? Can you think of anybody like close to you or whatever that you could have a cleansing partner? Because wouldn't it be fun to do it together, right? You don't want to do it alone. Wouldn't it be fun to do it together? So they go, yeah. And I'm like, okay, just for curiosity's sake, throw out a couple of your friends' names and I'll show you an example. Oh, Pam and Joe. Okay, great. So Pam and Joe, they buy a President's Pack too, right? Because we all pay the same price for the products. It's $5.59 and $5.59. Okay, now here's where your refund comes in. As soon as Pam and Joe get started, and I'm going to help you get them started, right? We're going to do a call with them and send them a video and follow up. The company sends you $50 when they enroll for referring to, and then you get a product bonus. And this is immediate bonus. This is not you as a business builder. This is just the company saying thank you and giving you extra cash. They're going to give you $80 for each of your friends. Times 2 is $160. Okay. And if we do that all in 1 week, the company is going to double your money, and they're going to give you a double bonus. So 160 plus 160 is 320 plus $50. You have a total savings of $370. Now, if we plug that into your $459, now you're not paying much for your products at all. You're actually saving a lot of money, right? So they get excited, and you want to give them a moment to get excited, okay? You know, that, gosh, who else can I share this with? I'm telling you, every single time I do this, whether it's with one-on-one, a couple, or over the phone, I'm telling you, they get excited at this moment. Gosh, I think I probably know a couple more people. You know, well, that's great, because if you just even help Pam and Joe do the same, because they're going to spend $559 too, if you can help them find their two, then actually what you'll be getting is $570, right? $100 for each consultant, okay? So, and then you'll get 2 cycles in my business, which means you'll actually get back $678. Then right now on your paper, if you're writing this down, okay, circle that big 678. Draw a big arrow back up to the initial 559 and ask them how much money they spent on their Isogenics products. I mean, do you see how powerful this is, you guys? I mean, it's really powerful. I'm going to do the same breakdown with the total health and longevity. Okay. To me, when somebody says, oh, I signed somebody up with a 30-day, I'm like, you mean the THL, the total health and longevity? You guys, that product B is a winner. You have got to get that product B out there and in the hands and in the bodies of the people that you are talking to. There's a reason why it was featured in Popular Science Magazine and Elle Magazine, because people are looking for it. And not only that, they're willing to spend the extra cash on it. All right? So I don't even really talk about the 30-day. I just tell them I've got a 30-day program. It's called a Total Health and Longevity. You get to try everything. And it's a little less expensive than the President's Pack, if that's what you're looking for. We do the same grocery scenario, right? We plug in $100 at the THL, that's what I call it, the Total Health and Longevity Pack, all right? $370 is how much it costs for them to try everything. 30-day program with product B and essentials. That's where you want to be talking about right now, okay? We subtract $100, that's $270. Right there, I'm telling you that most people would be like, oh, so, gosh, you know what? I'll probably just get it anyways, get going, and then, will you help me find some friends on Facebook? Sure. So here, they get 2 buddies again. Your refund on this one, $50 consultant fee, right? The PIV, 50 times 2 is 100. They do it in 1 week, right? Because you guys, you enroll them right away. You help them open an Isogenics account. You get them started, and then you go to town on helping them find their 2. Okay, immediately. It's like your focus that whole week. All right, you get them the extra $100. So now they have $250, right? So in this example right now, with the 2 people, not even helping them further, okay, which you don't want to do, but helping them further, $250. $270, they're spending $20 on their products right now. So you want to show them that, gosh, you're really only spending $20 on your products when you do that. But not only that, if you help your friends, okay, then you're actually going to get back $450. Now, remember how we circle that big $450? We rope it up to that initial $370 so that they can see that they are in the positive and that they're making people happy. Okay, that's what the little smiley face is down there. but they're making people happy. Now, I'm telling you, the girl that got to $32,000, okay, in 3.5 months in Isogenics, this is all she was doing. This was it. She was showing the money, showing people how they could get the money. And she was saying, if you have a significant other right now, why don't you plug them in with another Total Health and Longevity Pack? You have enough product for you and your kids. Now you only need to find one more person, and you're going to make your money back. right? You know, I hope you guys are getting as excited as I am, because this is super powerful. I mean, this is a moneymaker. It really is. And it's a great way to communicate. If you're scared of the money, you need to find a way to write this down and to talk about it and practice it and show this to somebody else. Go over to your friend's house and say, hey, I just got started in this business. Can I practice on you? You know, and practice on it. They'll probably just sign up. All right. So let's switch back gears again, because I was talking about show the money, show the money, show the money. And since that's the number one objection that a lot of you said that you were getting, I would say it's super important to spend some time on that. All right. So time objection. How many of you guys have ever heard somebody say, I don't have the time, right? I'm busy. I can't find the time, you know? Well, here's my pretty straightforward answer. This is what I say to most people, regardless of what type they are, if they're auditory, visual, or kinesthetic. I come out with this baby right here. Well, so first off, Alex, I just want to say that I'm not looking for people who have all the time, because as you and I know, it's the busy people who get things accomplished, right? So, I mean, just be honest with them. Look, I'm looking at you, baby. I am not out there looking for somebody who just has all the time in the world, because if they have all the time in the world and they're not doing something, either number one, they're really lucky, or number two, they're not quite sure how to go through life. Okay, they're just doing their own thing. So you want to find the busy person. When I got started in Isogenics, you guys, I was working 2 jobs and taking care of my 3.5-year-old twins. I considered myself a busy woman, but I understood the value of a residual income. That was clear to me, okay? And if somebody had showed me those numbers right there, automatically I'd be like, what? I only have to find 2? Done. I am on it, you know? So it's the busy people who get things done. You know, another thing you could say is, well, you know, gosh, I'm sorry you're busy, but you know how we talked about all your goals? How long do you think it's going to take you to reach your goals? Do you know when I asked that question in a meeting, and several of you guys have been to the local meetings that we do here in Salt Lake, when I asked that question in a meeting, how long will it take you to reach your goals? Did you know most people say, I probably won't do it in this lifetime. If I could do anything I wanted and those were the goals I had, I probably won't do it in this lifetime. So what else are they going to spend their time doing? They could spend an hour a day or less doing Isogenics and get it done. They really only need 2 to get started. Okay, so you know that. You know the value of that. Okay, so that means if you have the time, you would do this. I love that. I've got to tell you, I've heard so many 3-way calls. I've done a lot of 3-way calls with George Ruiz, and I've also heard him do several 3-way calls. And I love when he says that. He goes, so what you're saying is if you have the time, you do it? I mean, he just total reversal, like flips it right back on. They're like, actually, yes, I would probably do this business if I had the time. Great. Let's see if we can carve some time out of your schedule. You know, open up your book for me. Let me help you out. Okay. Switching gears, knowledge objection. For me personally, oh my goodness, I spent, 18 months thinking that there was something else I needed to know before I really went crazy in Isogenics. And I gotta tell you, that was a lot of time that I could have been, you know, if I had just not questioned it, just moved forward and said, hey, I'll learn, I'll go, come on. But I love this, okay? I'm not good at this. I don't know enough. I need more information. Some of these are great. It's okay if you don't know everything. You don't have to be great to get started, but you do have to get started to be great. Do you feel that that's true? Okay. Or you could put in there, do you hear that? You know, or you could, kinesthetic, how does it, you know, make you feel, basically? Or visual. Do you see that might be true? Yeah, of course. Right? So here's another one. Most people, you guys, they just want to be accepted. You know, they really do. They want to know that somebody accepts them, that somebody, even if they don't think they're good at this, that you know they will be, but they've got to hear it. Okay? So I love this. I can see you being fantastic at this. And the past doesn't equal the future. Everyone learns as they go. Is it okay if we pay you while you're learning? Absolutely. Right? They go to college for years, nobody pays them to learn, you know? So that's what I love about that. Every master was once a disaster. Do you feel that's a part of the learning process? Yes. So I love that, you guys, because seriously, every single person who ever really succeeded in this life at some point went through a little bit of a learning point. You know, they had to get through a curve or do something. Every master was once a disaster. You need to say that to yourself. I don't care if you whisper it to yourself right now, but just say it. Every master was once a disaster, and that is how we learn. So really accept people for where they're at and encourage them. Say, hey, look, I'm a leader, and I can see you as a leader. Let's get going, you know? Okay, the takeaway. This is so important. A lot of times people are driven towards either pain or pleasure, okay? Sometimes the thought of them not being able to do something is more painful than the idea of getting something pleasurable out of it, all right? So if you're getting a persistent no, you might just want to back off and say, you know what, you're right. This is probably not for you. But thank you for letting me share with you today. You know, feel free to contact me if you ever change your mind. You're right. This is probably not for you. We don't need to beg people to come into our business or bribe them or I'll give you a discount, this, blah, blah, blah. You don't need to do that. But you're right. This is probably not for you at this time. Thank you. Goodbye. You know, if somebody gets defensive, like maybe you jump the gun, and it's usually when you jump the gun a little bit too quickly that somebody gets defensive. Okay, so if you haven't given them enough information over the phone, or you haven't asked them enough questions about themselves, they just don't feel that you're that into them, that you really want them. Okay, sometimes they can get defensive if you go, great, let's get you signed up, and they're like, whoa, wait, you know. Okay, that's the point where you go, okay, you just want to say this. You want to use words with A-L-O-Y and usually, typically, you know, stuff like that. Okay, so you could say, I'm sorry, this is usually when most people are ready to get started, but here are some other things you might want to know before we move forward. And it doesn't matter what comes out of your mouth after that. You could say, Isogenics is out of Chandler, Arizona. You know, just give them something to go off of, right? Now, here's for our kinesthetic and a lot of people who say, you know, I need to talk to my husband, or I probably need some more information. Can you send me another video, or things like that? Okay, they're very feely, so they've got to feel it out. And if they just don't feel right about it, they're not going to move forward. So you really want to make this clear. And some of you guys might think this is too bold, but I'm telling you it works. Okay, you can just say, that's okay. It's okay if you need to talk to your husband and go look at the website again. You know, I have a website with tons of videos and thousands of documents, you know, about the products and more product information than you could imagine. All right. So most people who take a lot of time to get started go and research there first and then call me. But here are some other things you might want to know before we move forward. I like using phrases like this because notice that I'm put out like a third-party approach. So I'm not directly saying to them, hey, you know, you're taking a lot of time to make this decision. It's not a life or death decision. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee. I don't necessarily want to say that, but I will come out and say, hey, look, most people who take a lot of time to get started go and research there first and then call me. But nobody wants to go through thousands of documents. Are you kidding? So you want to make it a little bit painful for them to do some more research, and you want to go, hey, let's get moving, you know? Oh, there's no problem with more information, you guys. It's really nice to get started. Okay, you never know. So this is the thing I want you to totally keep in mind as you are calling people and for the rest of your life and whatever business you're doing, okay? Isogenic or not, for the rest of your life, I want you to remember that this is the way we treat people, okay? We treat them with total and complete acceptance of everyone and everything at all times and in all places, including yourself. Be patient. Okay, be so very patient with the people you're working with. You know, if you call somebody and, you know, if they're really rude to you, I don't know if you've ever had that. I mean, I've had some people who are just so rude, and then I hang up the phone and I get super mad, and I'm like, oh, what kind of a person would say that? Who are they? Oh, you know, that kind of a thing. Well, number one, you don't want that person in your business necessarily. But number two, you know, I always say to myself, what if somebody died in their family that day, or, you know, things like that. You really want to, you know, just make sure that you're being totally and completely accepting of everyone, including yourself. So if you feel like you could have said something different, no worries. Next time you'll just be stellar. So I loved Matthew's great quote on that because it's so extremely important to be completely accepting. All right. And that's the way this business is. Here's the second question, or another question. I know people get this. I very rarely get this question, okay? Hardly ever get this question. And the reason why is I harbor no feelings about this whatsoever. I feel like there is no pyramid scheme out there. I really don't. You know, is this a pyramid scheme? Right? Or insert anything. Tracy Larson told me a really funny one the other day. He said that he had a kid say to him, is this a triangle scheme? And I'm like, that is my favorite of all time. This is a triangle scheme. So, hey, however it comes out, you just need to come back with it. And here's one of the best ways. Just ignore it and act like, you know, play it off, the joke with them. What? Are you serious? You're kidding, right? Yeah, I'm here now to talk to you about making money. That's funny. Is that what you really thought? Gosh, if you're serious, I apologize for joking with you, but I thought you were kidding. You don't even just say, a lot of people go, no, it's not. And the reason why is because everything's a pyramid scheme, right? The government, blah, 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 blah. Just ignore it altogether. Somebody who's going to take a hiccup over that these days clearly is not really super understanding of what's going on in the business world. Okay. So just say, are you serious? Gosh, sorry. I thought we were having a discussion. I didn't know that you, what? Just really totally blow it off. Okay. All right. Here's some of my favorite things. Tell a wealth story, like, George's or Leanne's or whatever. Tell a wealth story about our company. That's the best way, by the way, to introduce somebody after you've just talked to them about the products. It's the best way to plug in a wealth story. Gosh, you are so dynamic. You remind me of my girlfriend, Leanne Jackson. She's one of the millionaires in the company. And you can tell a short little blip about the amount of money she's making. Could you get excited about making some extra cash? If somebody were to say it to yourself and go, gosh, how would I respond to that? Could I get excited about making some extra cash? Heck yeah, of course I could, right? Are you open to sharing this with a friend? I love the word open because nobody wants to be closed. I'm telling you, the biggest jerk in the world still doesn't want to be told that he's closed. Okay, he will literally say to you, of course I am. Of course I am. Okay, I am open. So can you see yourself doing what we're doing? Maybe not at this time, but I think I could send some of my friends a video. Perfect. That's all we ask, right? Would you be open to? All right. Could you get excited about? Those are really great opening lines. I really want you to plug those and stick them in your arsenal of isogenics tools, okay, and make sure that you're asking those. Again, you guys, this presentation, it's over pretty much now, but I want you to really listen and go back through this. Not everyone's going to grasp everything right away. Certainly I didn't. I created the presentation and I was like, oh, you've got to go back and do this for your own success to improve. You have to improve. Okay. And you will when you apply even one thing you've learned daily and put it into practice. All right. If you want to be somebody who gets really savvy in the business, anything that pops out to you, use it. The next time you're in a conversation, use it. Practice your dreams. You know how some people say fake it till you make it? It's kind of like that. Because not everything's, you might not be comfortable saying a lot of these phrases at first, but once you do, it'll be great. Okay? So posture yourself. This is the slide that I kind of was talking about through the whole thing. I hope you realize when we were talking about the takeaway and, opening lines and things to you, that's you posturing yourself, okay? We don't beg, we don't convince, we don't bribe, and we don't whine when people do or do not join our business. No, we're not whiners here, okay? We are motivated people who are running a business. We don't need to worry about who said no on a regular basis. We only need to be concerned for the, being able to commit and to help the people that we bring into our organization. And there's hundreds of thousands, especially with social media, all right? If you feel yourself sounding or saying anything that makes you feel this way, you're done. End the conversation. They're not for you now. Okay, so if you feel yourself going, well, it just seems like, I don't know why you feel like that, or blah, blah. If you find yourself saying anything like that, you're done. End the conversation. Be like, you know what? It was great talking to you today. I can see that you're not for my business at this time. Is it okay if I keep in touch in the next couple months? Whatever. Or call me when you're ready. Bye-bye. Okay? There is always another one coming. That's what I love about this business. I'm telling you, if you adopt that attitude of there is always another one coming. In fact, here's something you can put into practice right away. If you call somebody tomorrow and they don't get excited right away, just say, hey, call me later. Just go, you know what? There's another one coming, and hang up the phone. Okay? There is always another one coming. So I love that. And I just want you guys to really believe in the possibility. If not all of these things ring true for you right away, that's okay. You don't have to do it the way that I do it or the way that somebody else does it. But I really want you to, grasp the concept that there is a great possibility that a lot of those lines really work. And they will be absolutely an incredible tool for you and your business. One thing I want to say real quickly is that I think that everyone needs to understand that Jim and Kathy Coover really do want you to win at this. We talked about showing people the money and how much money is out there. It is so incredible. Our business is the most lucrative compensation plan on the planet right now. So it doesn't matter what somebody else, what you go up against out in the world. Doesn't matter what other companies are out there. When you know how to make money in your company, that's all that matters. That's what people are looking for. Just remember that there's a huge possibility that those work. There's a huge possibility that Jim and Kathy Cooper are just going to be handing you an award on stage one day, and you're going to be super excited about it, and so are they. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about Monica. They'll get so excited about you guys because they really want your success, and so do we. And that's why the BDP puts out so much information. And so I just want to thank Alex for letting me do the webinar today. I know tonight was kind of a longer one, but I believe it was well deserved. Hopefully you guys too. Give me a shout out if you felt like you liked it. Just write a little comment in there or something. But make sure that you guys go back and watch this and share this with your team and your organization. So thank you so much.